I'm Tanya Windecker, and if you have complex post-traumatic stress disorder like myself, you're probably very familiar with this feeling that your feelings are totally out of control. It's like that volcano just exploded, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Everything feels out of control, and it is, in hindsight, it's always really, really frustrating and embarrassing, and you can't understand why on earth did that happen again. Why did I explode like this? Why did my feelings go way off the planet, really? And, and the frustrating thing is that we also have times where we're just so numb that we can't feel nothing. And I don't like this either. I like to have feelings. We all like to have some form of feelings. And it becomes so difficult when it feels like that the minute your feelings start, it's like, they go out. That's what it is for me all the time. And it's like, gosh, how can I just have them just there, just so things are nice, I can be happy and enjoy life, and there'll be things that you're sad about, but not these absolute anger. You don't want to have anger, or the fear. It is more for me the anxiety, the panic attacks. And so often we don't realize how much actually is involved in emotions. We're talking about feelings, but emotions, that's just so much more. We have all, the minute an emotion starts, it goes so quickly, especially like if you would drive along on a busy road and the car in front of you suddenly stops and you only just manage to stop in time. This rush of adrenaline, and everything happens so quickly. You didn't even think about slamming your foot on the brake. It just happened. And that's what saves us. And that's really, really important, to have those emotions and things, because it just works in a split second. Well, this is okay in this situation, but if you have PTSD, then that happens a bit too often, and in situations like where it's not necessary. Because with PTSD, a fear response is triggered without an immediate threat to you. Anything like a little smell, or something that you see, something that you hear, something you sense, hearing envy in someone's voice, or hearing, all these little things that we're so cued into, so aware of. And that makes it really difficult. But as I said, so emotion is much bigger. So you have those chemicals coming off the brain, and immediately, if it's like anger or fear, immediately it gets us to stop going all the blood flow to your digestive tract, for example, and puts it all to your muscles. So you're ready to either run or to fight, whatever it is. So it has this physical change, which is a massive change from what the blood flow and things like that, how your organs work. But also on your facial expression changes with your moods. And so does your tonality. Your voice changes with it, Do you all in a sudden start to whisper and stutter, or do you scream and yell, or is there envy we can hear in your voice? All these things change. So emotions are really a big, big chapter. But that's so hard to work on. I wish I could. I wish I could say I'm a master, but I'm not. I've been working on this for over a decade, but I'm so much more comfortable now. I always wanted to I wanted to have joy in my life, which I have so much more joy now. I totally do. I'm more okay with feeling joy and being excited. Because even that initially, I couldn't, even my excitement went straight through the roof. I never had a level that was kind of acceptable or okay, where it didn't feel like you're out of control. But just by being aware of what sets me off, the little things, but it's something that I see, I still have things like with pocket knives, not even just pocket knives, how these days the car keys actually flip out like this. My brain even is triggered with those kind of keys, which is totally ridiculous because they don't even look like a knife. But it's the same kind of jumping thing. So it shows that it is not actually the cues are not that accurate. So our brain is really overworking on trying to protect us from any kind of danger, because a car key is not the dangerous thing in that moment, but it just shows that, there are things that we can work on, so that's a good thing. Or smells, if you smelled something at the time when you were hurt, or when it all has been happening, whether this is an aftershave or whether this is some food that's being cooked in the background and things like that, it can be really triggering. And you can have the same full-blown emotions because your brain associates that smell with danger. But it's no immediate danger right now, and it's I felt like banging my head on the wall many times, but now I've worked so hard on this. I've been visualizing so many times just situations where I knew, just things like I've worked on the car keys, for example, or smells and stuff like that. I tried to visualize myself being in those kind of situations, and then how would I talk myself down? Visualization, you do it like it's perfect. What would happen if you know you've been triggered and you imagine yourself that you immediately picked up on it. Immediately you knew you're triggered, and immediately you start talking yourself down. And by practicing this over and over and over the years these days, if I get triggered, it doesn't generally take me very long to realize, it's not real, it's not happening right now, and I can start talking myself down again. So I love visualization for that, because it gets you can practice things perfect. You can practice how you would handle that situation if you would be your best perfect self. So I like that. It doesn't mean that you have to be that perfect out in the real world, but at least you practice it perfectly. And I also have flashcards in my wallet and things like that to remind myself, whether this is if I'm out, for example, in a shopping centre and I'm fully triggered and my brain's not functioning at all and I can't seem to talk myself down. I know I have those flashcards in my wallet and I've had them in there for 15 years. So that's something I remember now that's there, and I can go to the bathroom, I can read them, and it helps me to calm myself down. And I also like, if I know I got into a situation, especially now with Christmas coming up, if you have big social gatherings, or whether it is other birthday parties, weddings, whatever it is for you, where you want to be present, where you want to be part of, but you just know, or you have that fear that, gosh, am I going to be able to stay in control of myself? That's the biggest fear. I don't know what it is for you, but for me, with this the whole PTSD thing, that it's like a push button and you explode. It's crazy, but so it comes with that fear. Every time you go out, you're just getting scared that you can't stay in control. So that's why I do all this visualization, flashcards and things like that, and I practice that right before I go as well. Right before, if I park my car, I go through my flashcards again, and again, and it's that repetition. I've been doing it for years, and I've been at it, and it does get better, and you get used to, or you get better with sensing your own emotions, because initially I didn't really know what I was really feeling. It's just like I only called it overwhelmed. It's like I'm feeling all emotions at once. Now I'm getting a bit better. I can pick it a bit more. Okay, there's a bit more anxiety at the moment, or there's a bit more anger today, or there's sadness in this, or despair. Someone's trying to torture you down, and things like that. It triggers some emotions. So I'm much more attuned. I can name emotions better. I'm still not that good. Half the time it's just like I'm feeling everything. But we're getting better. And yeah, as always, I'd love to know what you're doing to help yourself to get more aware of your own emotions, and what tools you use to help yourself to stay in control and calm yourself down again if you're triggered and things like that. So with that, as always, lots of love and rainbows to brighten up those difficult times. Okay, all the best. Bye.